Hi, welcome to our biology class. Today's our topic is digestive glands of alimentary canal from the lesson Digestion and Absorption of 11th Biology. When we think about a delicious food, our mouth starts watering, isn't it? Because the mouth is preparing to receive the food and digest it. The same way, before the food enter into our mouth, the very sight of the food will make the digestive glands secrete their enzymes. For example, mouth starts secreting saliva, the stomach starts secreting gastric juices, and the intestine secretes various enzymes. All these enzymes are ready for the digestion process. So, the main digestive glands that secrete enzymes for digestion are salivary glands, liver, and pancreas. The first one, salivary gland. It is situated outside the oral cavity, and we have 3 pairs of salivary glands, right? So, you can see the position of those salivary glands. The first pair of salivary gland is called parotid gland. Okay? Par means near, and otid means something related to the ear. So, the position of the parotid gland is here. A pair of parotid glands are there. The second pair of salivary glands are called submandibular glands, and that is situated below the jaw cavity. The third pair of salivary gland is called sublingual gland, and it is situated below our tongue. So, these are the positions of the salivary glands. And salivary glands, these 3 pairs of salivary glands produce what? Saliva. Saliva contains various electrolytes like Na+, K+, bicarbonate ions, etc. And it also has 2 main enzymes. The first one is called salivary amylase, and the second one is called lysozyme. Salivary amylase is the enzyme which helps in the digestion of carbohydrate or starch in the oral cavity. You all know that the digestion starts in the oral cavity, isn't it? So, what salivary amylase does, you know? It converts the starch into a disaccharide. What is the name of that disaccharide? It's called maltose. The first part of the digestion takes place in the oral cavity with the help of salivary amylase. The second enzyme present in the saliva is called lysozyme. It has antibacterial property. What do you mean by that? It kills the germs that may enter into our mouth along with the food. So, that is the function of the saliva. Okay. Now comes the second main gland. It is called liver. It is the largest gland. It weighs about 1.2 to 1.5 kg, right? The liver has the property of regeneration. You all know a small part of the liver can regenerate. And another thing about liver is what? It can be transplanted. Liver transplantation can be done. Okay, coming to the position of the liver, right? The liver is situated in the abdominal cavity below the diaphragm, right? Okay, the liver has 2 lobes, and the liver is made up of hepatic cells. These hepatic cells, you know, they secrete bile. The secretion of the hepatic cell is called bile. Actually, bile is not an enzyme, but still it helps in the digestion process. How does it help? Bile helps in the emulsification of fat. That means the fat which is a very complex form, is broken into small micelles with the help of bile. Okay? The bile contains what all things? Bile contains bile pigments like bilirubin, biliverdin, and then bile salts, phospholipids, cholesterol, etc. These are the contents of the bile. Right? Now, I told you bile is produced by the hepatic cells. Right? Now, this bile is stored in another organ. You can see here a green color organ which is called as gallbladder. So, here you can see that the bile secreted by the liver goes through a duct. These two ducts, they are called hepatic ducts, and they reach the gallbladder. So, gallbladder is the one which stores the bile. Okay. Now, from the gallbladder, the bile goes out through a common duct. From the gallbladder, bile goes through a duct. Now, these two ducts, the hepatic duct and the duct carrying bile from the gallbladder, join to form a common bile duct. You can see here a common bile duct. And where is this bile duct entering? It is entering into the duodenum part of the small intestine. You know that small intestine is the part where the final digestion takes place. So, all the enzymes are enzymes along with bile is secreted into the small intestine to break the food into simpler forms. Right? Okay. That's about the bile. Next comes the next gland. The next gland is called as pancreas. Pancreas is considered as an exocrine gland as well as an endocrine gland. The endocrine gland of pancreas, this is the pancreas, right? It is considered as an exocrine as well as an endocrine gland. So, where is it situated? It is situated in the U-shaped part. This is the duodenum U-shaped part. It is situated near the duodenum region. This yellow color part is the pancreas. Right? Pancreas, it acts as an endocrine gland as well as an exocrine gland. The endocrine part of pancreas secretes two hormones. Right? One is called insulin and the other one is called glucagon. What is their function? They control the blood glucose level. The normal level of our blood glucose is maintained by the insulin and glucagon produced by the pancreas. Pancreas also acts as an exocrine gland. That means it has enzyme secretion. The enzyme secreted by the pancreas is called as pancreatic juice. Right? Pancreatic juice contain a lot of enzymes which are in an inactive form like trypsinogen, procarboxypeptidases, lipases, amylases, etc. So, what happens is these enzymes are in an inactive form, isn't it? Trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, procarboxypeptidases, lipases, amylases, all these enzymes are in an inactive form. So, they cannot do anything with the digestion. So, what happens, you know, the intestine has an innermost layer which is called as mucosa. You have studied about the different layers of the intestine. The mucosa layer of the intestine secrete an enzyme which is called enterokinase. The presence of this enterokinase will make the trypsinogen get activated into an active enzyme called trypsin. Once trypsinogen is activated into trypsin, automatically the other enzymes like procarboxypeptidases, amylases, etc. will get activated. So, all these together it's called pancreatic juice. Now this pancreatic juice comes out through a duct. You can see a duct here. That's called pancreatic duct. This pancreatic duct is opening into the duodenum itself or the small intestine. So here you can see the gallbladder is storing the bile secreted by the liver. You can see the duct from the liver coming and the duct from the gallbladder, both bringing the bile, common bile duct. That duct is called common bile duct. It's entering into the duodenum, right? And this yellow color part is what? The pancreatic duct, which is bringing the pancreatic juice. Now, these two things together join here as a common duct. You can see the common duct, and it is called as this common, when they both unite, that common duct is called as hepatopancreatic duct, right? This duct is controlled by a sphincter muscle, and that name of that muscle is sphincter of Oddi. Anyway, the bile and the pancreatic juice will reach the small intestine. Then comes what? The intestine. The intestine also secretes a set of enzymes, intestinal juices. Okay, so all these enzymes, that is bile, pancreatic juice and the intestinal juice, will break the complex food particles into simpler forms. Like carbohydrates are broken into sugar, then proteins are broken into amino acids, like that. So the final digestion takes place in the small intestine, and the food is made into simpler forms. That simpler forms of food is taken by the blood vessels, isn't it? You know, blood vessels carry it, and that is distributed to various cells, and the cells absorb that energy. So all the digestive enzymes are ready for digestion, and the food is broken into simpler forms, and the simpler form of food is taken by the blood vessels to the various cells. Thank you.